Right, so I'm back on site. Got me lovely cup of tea. Customers are actually going on holiday today, so I'm going to be on my own for 2 weeks. But check this out. How cute is this, man? I don't think I've ever had this before. It feels like I'm going on holiday. Hold on. So I don't know if the customer thinks I need mothering or something, but look at this. She goes, Andrew said you had a kettle. I know you don't eat or drink unless someone comes out and stops you, so we've left you a little hamper. So I've got Tate and Lyle sugar, Twinings, not just any tea, Twinings breakfast tea, posh, a load of UHT milk so we don't go off, a packet of Rockies, a packet of Penguins, and a packet of something else that I can't see the name of. My God, it's like an Airbnb. I could probably set my bed up by there, use one of these old cabinets as a bedside table with my kettle on and my little, might even ask the missus if she wants to do a night here, because we've not been able to get away this year because buying a house, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, might have a night away in the garage. I'm going to take the roof off in a minute, but there'll be a nice locked door, yeah. So yeah, free holiday. Boo! And get an extra half an hour in bed. I'm going to put a dividing wall between here and here. I've got my OSB, a little cool lock thing, some hinges. But I think the easiest thing to do would be to just build this on the floor and just whoop it in, expanding foam, screw it to the wall. Job's a good one, but it'd be a lot easier because it's quite tall, isn't it? And it's way taller than that. It's probably easier if it's a lovely day, so I'm just gonna take this roof off first. I'll set you up on a stand on that dumper somewhere and start stripping it. That's the tiles off the roof. I won't go further than that because that's part of the house there, so we don't want any leaks. But my God, do you know what? This is the second valley in a row that I've looked at. It's completely wrong. Yeah, I don't like fiberglass valleys at the best of times, but that batten's floating in mid-air. So is that one. So is, yeah, most of them are floating in mid-air. Trusses by there. There's no valley board. It's literally just had a batten nailed on to the top of the trusses, which obviously is not fully supported, is it? So what there should be is a valley board laid flush with the top of the trusses. Should be wide enough so you can fix the end of these battens to it. Yeah, and then the tray would be supported. And the obvious thing that's wrong is the bloody felt runs under the valley. There's not much logic behind that, is there? Because any water that could potentially get in anywhere, because your felt's the second line of defence, falls under the valley rather than going into the valley. It should go in, get lapped into there. Where am I? Oh, there's my lolly. Woo! Yeah, it should get lapped into there. So any water that does get under the tiles, so, I mean, I know it shouldn't, but if it does, instead of running underneath and just leaking into the building, it will go into that groove and down into the gutter. It's the second valley. The last valley I did was exactly the same. I don't know if it's the age of the house, this is what they used to do. It doesn't make sense to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but that's not how I do them. I got the kettle, but you know the thing that actually plugs into the wall that you set the kettle on? Can I find that? Can I hell? Oh, I'm gonna have to get Argos. Do you know what? I made an advert for them once. My kids are well into their football now, right? Yeah, there's a guy called Haaland, isn't there? Haaland, Haaland, do 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 do. Well, I made a song for Argos, so I don't know. They might make some money off this. It went Argos, Argos, the place you go to buy TVs, furniture, toys and TVs. Argos. I thought that was genius. The kids were singing it for days because we went to get a telly from Argos one day, and I'm pretty sure, you know, phones listen to you, don't they? And I'm not paranoid, they bloody do. I'm wondering whether some advertising agency stuck. I'm sure I saw that on another advert, but for something else the other day. It wasn't on telly, like, because I don't watch telly. I'm thinking, they've stolen that from me. But anyway, if Argos is listening, that's marketing genius. Yeah, I'm getting on Argos. I can't function without a cup of tea. I'm mad. Got my cup of tea. Got a nice shiny new kettle with a sticker still on the top. The first thing they taught me in college when I was doing my joinery and carpentry apprenticeship, first thing you do when you get to site, have a cup of tea and think about what you're going to do. You know, rather than just rushing in like a bull in a china shop. Think about it logically. The day goes a lot smoother and more productive. First thing I'm going to do, if I measure back 900, plumb a line down. I mean, I could just go bash, bish, bosh, bash, but like when the customer comes back off holiday, at least it looks like you haven't just smashed the crap out of their house. You've actually thought about it and, you know, cut a nice neat line. So I'm going to disc a line down there, knock the blocks off this side, and then on this side it is Thermalite, so I can use, I got a Dewalt super duper block saw thing. I'll just do the same on here, just cut a nice straight line straight through with that, knock that over, scoop it all up, put it on the pile. Then I'll take out this Aco drain, break up the concrete there, break out that, set up that profile onto this corner. This is eventually going to be rendered flush. I told the customer I don't do sand and cement render anymore because it's just prone to failure. Even good jobs, you know, it only takes a slight crack or something and the water gets in and it freezes and then blows, and then you've got like hollow spots. So I'm going to do the new extension in silicon render, and then with this, what I think I'll do, put a straight edge on there, work out how much of a that kicks out, disc a line down there so it takes the kink out the wall, and then do my block work so that when I put the 2 coats of base on, it comes flush with this existing. And apparently if you give it a good old hammer test first to check there's no dodgy bits, probably will be because there usually is. If you give it a good old fungicidal wash, which is what this is, just put new beads on and set them in with the new base coat. New plastic beads, sorry, yeah, and same on here as well. Render right across, and then eventually you can do the top, the same on the top. Then all you got to do, rather than hacking it all off and starting again to save money, cut the beads off, replace the beads, yeah, do the top and the silicon. The only thing I'm worried about, I'm going to have to think of some way of where the 2 different materials meet. I'm going to have to do something to stop a hairline crack there. That's the plan anyway. Glad they taught me that in college because I know what I'm doing now. So there we have it. I've marked a nice plumb line to the top. And yes, you're probably all saying you should be using a still saw with dust suppression. At the end of the day, it broke. Right now, I can't afford to buy a new one because they're bloody expensive. It's not like we've got neighbours. That's the solid concrete blocks down. Nice to know they keep their cavities nice and clean, isn't it? Wiping their snobs off as they go. If you notice, this is typical. Loads of them, look. There's one there, usually down the middle of the block. Oh, one there and one there. And that is because, obviously the suction on these blocks is super duper, but like people used to soak them in water. It's best just to do a wetter mix, because if you soak them in water, yeah, you can lay them dead easy, but then either end sticks to the mortar, which is a bit stronger, obviously, than this stuff. So when they soak it, it expands, and when it dries out, it contracts and it can't pull away from the mortar joint, so it basically just splits down the middle, because that's the weakest point, obviously. If anyone ever tells you to soak your thermalites, just say no, I won't. See, they're everywhere. Crack, crack, crack. You know, they've gone away. It's the first lot of Bishop Bosch bashing I've been doing. Look, another one. Oh, another one. And some people are like, ooh, it wasn't like that before. And yeah, it was. But despite how much you try and plead innocence to people sometimes, you know when you've got like a dog and you don't have dogs. I've got a dog. And she didn't used to smell, but my God, as she's getting older, I don't know, she smells like she's rotting or something. I don't know how many times you bath her, she stinks, man, and she farts. So when you walk into someone's house that's got a dog, they're sort of nose blind to the smell, aren't they? Or a car as well. If you get in someone's car and they've had their wet Labrador in the back, it's like, I think people get like that with their own houses. They get house blind because you're obviously disrupting things a bit. They suddenly start to notice all these like shrinkage cracks in their house that are just normal, because everything expands and contracts, and they start going, ooh, it wasn't like that before. And I'm like, yes, it was. But if you want to believe that to make me feel bad, that's fine. Excuse the mess, bloody cavity fill in it. Looks like someone's recreated World War III with a ball bearing gun. I love making machine gun noises. Did you know women can't do that, apparently? I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently. It's one of the first things you learn when you've got toy soldiers, isn't it? When I thought I was coming off here, I was just going to hack off the render, because you can't put your wall starter ties on render. Because obviously, like I was saying before, it's not the most reliable sand and cement render. And if you imagine it's the starter ties are stopping your new extension pulling away, and if the render's not good, then it's going to pull the render off, isn't it, and just sag anyway. But I noticed, I wasn't sure how this little pier detail was tied in to there. But if you notice, the cavity's open, full of cavity fill. So what I think I'm going to do is measure that distance from there to there, transfer it there, take that light off, obviously, just cut that straight down. Don't need a vertical DPC because there's a cavity, and I can just continue my new wall straight onto that, so that's good. I can't remember where we were at, but oh yeah, that was it. I was cutting this straight line and I was trying to show you how quick it was with that saw. Done what I said about disking the line down there, which opens up this cavity. Obviously, clean that off with the little SDS and the spade bit just to get that nice and flush. Disked my line on the lino that I was talking about. Through to there. Started breaking up. And then it was getting on then because of all the tidying up I had to do. And now it's starting to rain, which is brilliant. But I'm going to get back straight on this now. I wanted to return these diggers this week because they're on hire. As soon as I've dug that up, I'm going to start digging my foot in. Hopefully I'll work out what's going on with these drains. And then I got a feeling I'm probably going to have to change that inspection chamber. So if I can see what's going on down here, because I'm going to have to dig from that point to through the foot into around here for the waste for the sink. But I do want to check because they haven't had their kitchen design yet, and as I said, we supply our own range of kitchens now. I'm going to do a design, you know, he doesn't have to use me, but I like to do my designs when there's a bit more set in stone what's about. But I'm hoping, because lots of people like to have the sink either in front of a window, but he's toying with the idea of not having a window here, but he's probably going to have to get that changed on the planning or retrospective planning for that. And I thought, well, if you don't have a window, then now I've taken this truss roof off and I'm doing a cut roof, you could put a Velux in there to let some lighting. It's mainly because he wants a nice run of tall banker units there, the tall ones, you know, for your oven and whatnot. And then there's a window just the other side of that wall there. I'd rather have the sink there instead, but then if you don't have it near a window, most people want it in an island. So what I think I'll do is just run my new drainage straight past the footing line and put a coupler on it. Obviously you've got to put a coupler either side for a movement joint, just in case as it's passing through the footing. I'll have to put a piece of pipe, probably a new inspection chamber there, piece of pipe to about there, a coupler through the footing, another coupler, and then it's in the room at least, and then we can decide what we want to do with it before we do the slab.